This is your announcer, Shannon Saint Mainframe, welcoming you to our IP Livecast. Wow, 700 episodes. That's an amazing achievement. The only thing I've ever done 700 times is not reply to Chuck Blandington's "You up?" texts. It's not happening, bro. Our IP Livecast starts now.
Not happening for you, bro. Sorry. Shannon is not interested in Chuck Blandington, but we are interested in you.
That's shameful to me. I thought they had a good working relationship. I thought one, the mentor and the teacher. I didn't know. I don't fully buy that Chuck Blandington is doing all that stuff. I think she might.
Do you want to see the receipts?
I want to see receipts.
Maybe we need to turn over our Slack servers to Barry Weiss so she can investigate on what the conversations between Chuck Blandington and Shannon St. Mainframe are for the Livecast files.
I will go one further and I will say whether this happened or not, this is very CM Punk-like of Shannon to air this in a public forum on an entertainment program while
on a very important episode of RIP Livecast. Why? Because we've done this 700 times. Have you done anything else 700 times? Probably go to the bathroom.
Yes. Well,
sleep things.
What?
Whack off. Eat sandwiches. 700 mozzarella sticks.
I love how your first sexual thing was whack off and not have. I'm sure you had sex 700 times. In your life.
Don't know. That's 700 is a lot. I don't know.
When did you lose your virginity? How old were you?
19 or 20.
And you're 42?
Yeah, but it's not like I was steady fucking that whole time.
I'm just trying to find a mean here. So 22, 22. So 19.
I'm 43. I think I'm 43, right? Yeah.
24
43.
years. You said 19. You lost your virginity.
19 or 20, right on the cusp, somewhere around there.
Let's give you the full slate. 19 to 43 is 24 years. And 700 divided by 24. So let's say 700 divided by 25. That would be like, let's see, 25. 25 is 100 times 7 is 28. So 28 times per year.
Times a year.
And you're a married man.
Do you have sex 28 times a year now?
Give or take.
About.
Yeah, I don't know. It's close. It's close. I'm definitely more confident in what I said than that. Because I started that way earlier, and I got a lot more practice in.
We all three of us, each individually, might be close to 7,000. I would say that would be 280 times a year if we started when we were 19, which we didn't.
We're having some fun with math here on RIP Livecast, and we have plenty of special guests, some familiar faces from Livecast past and present.
We have a few
pop into the show.
We have a few big stars making a cameo today.
Indeed. And if you've been with us since the beginning, or even if you've been with us for just an episode, thank you for giving us your ear vaginas to fillet.
Wow. I'm straight and that turned me off.
Nice.
As someone who loves vaginas, never say that again, please.
I could have been more vulgar, but I decided not to.
Because
I've grown as a person. Sorry.
Dusty Rhodes Muffler says he's been listening since 2011. Thank you, Dusty.
Yeah.
That's Livecast super fan.
What were you doing those other 2 years?
Listening to when we started
whacking off.
Listening to 2008, but like in the middle of December, so technically 2008. It's going to be also in addition to our 700th anniversary, the start of our 15th season coming up.
Jeez.
Wow.
We are very impressive. Listening to the Lamb Goat podcast is what he was doing the rest of the time. Did that one start before us, Rob?
No, it did not, actually.
We have to be one of the first 200th podcasts ever, I would say.
Yeah, we were early to the podcast parade.
It was us and Ricky Gervais. I think that was it.
Really?
And we've attained equal levels of success since then.
And disdain.
Yes. Well, he probably beats us in both success and disdain. I would say.
More money, more problems. Mark Maron. We might have started before Mark Maron.
Yeah.
When did
I
his
think so.
podcast start?
I believe we did.
I remember thinking, wow, Mark Maron has a podcast, and I didn't get to it until it blew up already. So, like, I was like, two things happened. Well, Mark Maron has a podcast, and holy shit, this gets like 8 million views per week.
His show was launched in September of 2009.
Oh, so
So
he
we
copied
win.
us.
Yeah, we win.
Yeah, clearly, they stole our idea.
Adam
Trendsetters.
Carolla, T-Tam. Come on. No.
No, we
No.
definitely started before Adam Carolla. He
Adam
was still doing the
Carolla.
Man Show.
He just had the Man Show. He just Man Show was already like 10 years off the air by the time we started this. He just had Serge Tankian on his show, which, by the way, what a mismatch. But that's good on Serge to just talk to different people. I think he doesn't care what your politics are, but
Sure. And I'm sure people who listen to Adam Carolla are probably there's a good amount of crossover with SOAD.
But
fans.
the funny thing about that interview, I pretty much I watched a bunch of clips which amounted to like the whole thing, but it's so clear that he never heard a single System of a Down song ever before. Like they prepped him with like probably like read the Wikipedia article about Serge Tankian. That's it.
Yeah, he doesn't strike me as a fan of that kind of music. He seems more like either Merle Haggard or like Van Halen.
Right.
And that's it.
But he was pretending to love it. That's the funny part. Like he didn't put like Howard Stern when he interviews somebody he doesn't really care about. I think he leans into that. He's like, well, I acknowledge how big of a star you are, but like I never, you know what I mean? But this guy, he acted like a fucking SOAD super fan. It was hilarious.
For shame. But what did they talk about? Like what was it just hey, how is it to be a big rock star?
Yes.
Is it fun?
Yes. And
Really?
also like when not is it fun, but like how did they your album really blew up and like Toxicity really blew up. And how goes that? And he was like he just he answered it very graciously. He's like, but man, one day you wake up, man, and you're like a big rock star. How's that like? That kind of shit.
Awesome.
Was any of his stuff about how they got censored after 9/11 or whatever?
Well, he talked about the understanding oil thing. Remember he wrote that essay about that was part of the answer to that question I just said when he said like what was it like to be a big star? And he's like, well, we didn't get to really enjoy it because 9/11 was happening. Just our album came out like the week before 9/11 or something. And everything was like, oh, fuck, we have to travel now. And everything's like crazy. We were afraid of getting bombed on a stage or something. And then he wrote that essay and he got a lot of scorn about that essay because he basically said like U.S. Geopolitics helped cause 9/11. And he wrote it like a day after 9/11 or something. It was published on the System of a Down website. People
almost as if he had a draft written before 9/11.
Oh, is that you're accusing SOAD?
It's an inside job, you're saying?
He knew Osama bin Laden?
Who's the original bassist?
How dare you. Sully the name of SOAD.
Yeah, don't you dare.
Well, there's certain people in SOAD who have sullied the name of SOAD. Serge isn't one of them, but...
Right. Well, a couple of them would probably side with anyone. Probably side against him writing that essay in the first place. I would say,
yeah.
With their right-wing politics.
Oh, well, I don't know. I think on that they're probably on the same page. I think they've just diverted since then.
Oh. Okay. Fair enough.
We have Serge on the line now, right? He could tell us more. Is that one of the surprise guests?
He has yet to wake up.
Well, he's on the West Coast.
We're on early on the West Coast.
Fair.
Yeah. But we did actually have John Dolmay on the Livecast. That is a Livecast alumni.
Nice
Do we have two of them?
Oh, yeah, that's right. We
had
also had Darren
Darren.
Malakian. And we
Darren
were
Malakian.
explicitly asked not to discuss System of a Down with him. We were being nice about it. Well, it's not that we weren't asked not to discuss System of a Down because we did discuss some stuff. I think we were asked not to discuss the current situation the issues that he and Serge had about whatever their
Right.
contract dispute is.
Yeah, money stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't really
But
care about that
We
anyway.
did ask him about sunflower seeds, which was the important stuff.
That's right.
And,
He had a very in-depth answer, as I recall.
yeah, it was honestly, it was so exciting to talk to him about sunflower seeds. It's like, it was truly one of the benefits of the gig, of like, you always have these questions, these random questions you have for artists, and here you have an opportunity to ask them the dumbest, most random thing.
But then, you know what? I like
But something
those
that
kinds
you've
of
been
questions.
wondering about for 20 years, which I have.
Yeah. Better to ask that than, hey, when are you guys coming back to Missouri?
Yeah.
I
Whenever
saw you
I
guys
say
in
Missouri.
Peoria once. I was in the 80th row. You remember me? I was the one
Yeah.
cheering.
At the Chris Farley show. Hey, remember that time when you were in Missouri?
That was awesome.
Whenever I see an interview on another show, I like, and they ask something, not related to their usual slate of questions, I love it. I mean, those are the best parts of interviews for me.
Yeah. So when you get to really see them as just regular people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've had so much fun with that here on the Livecast. And I was reminiscing this morning while taking my steaming hot shower.
Oh, I thought you were going the dump route there.
Oh,
Yeah, steaming hot also.
In the shower.
No, Rob. There's no way Rob shower drain is
Stomping
big
it
enough
down.
to support that.
Oh, geez, Louise. No, we had a lot of great guys. I think one of my all times though was having Sendog in the studio, him and Billy Biohazard in the studio at the same time, and smoking him up. A moment I shall never forget. That was really great.
Wonderful.
We had a lot of great in studio guests. We had Amanda Marth, the late great Trevor Strnad of A Black Dahlia Murder.
Several
Odorous.
times.
Odorous. Oh my goodness.
I want to say Amanda Marth was like of all the interviews we've done, I would say that was the number one against type interview, that what I thought they were going to be and how they acted like in studio. They were just like really like sort of like, I don't know, jesty, like kind of
Chill.
chill and very like funny and like wisecracking.
Yeah, not as intense and brooding as you would expect.
Nothing like the music.
Yeah. Travis from Cattle Decapitation, another one,
Mm-hmm.
who was a very fun dude.
That's right. We had a great time with him. He brought a sketchy friend to.
That's right. Who had sketchy
give us
drugs.
They weren't sketchy. They were actually quite good. And it was just weed.
Oh, I just remember it being like more intense than regular weed somehow.
Yeah, it was concentrate.
Okay.
And we've had
It's
fun.
like orange juice out of weed now. What does this concentrate mean? They freeze it?
It's like kind of like a hash, essentially, like the evolution of what hash used to be, but it's like a modern version of it.
Oh, I'm sorry I asked that. I still don't understand anything you just said.
It's like okay, it's like okay, if flour, what is known as flour, that's the high term for just traditional trees or grass or weed or ganja.
Flour.
Consider that to be like beer. Weed concentrate would be like the hard liquor because it's a more concentrated. They literally
You can't use the word in its own definition.
Sorry. They press the weed to extract the THC, and so there is a more THC within a smaller, unit of distribution. And then you light that up, so you're essentially smoking more weed with less smoke and carcinogens and all that, but it can get intense. I personally, for me, it's a bit much. I haven't gotten that far. Flour is enough.
This feels like when I'm bored at like 4:30 in the morning and I look up like advanced mathematical computations on Wikipedia, like the walkthrough of it. And I know. I take full responsibility for this. This is my fault. I feel like when I watched Ron Howard's A Beautiful Mind, and like you see him doing the equations, and you're Russell Crowe right now, and I'm the audience. You're just writing on a weed board. Numbers everywhere.
Dusty Rhodes shares one of his favorite interview moments, and please chime in the chat if you're listening live or tweet us, RIP Livecast. His favorite moment was Phil Anselmo and Shlomo interacting. That is definitely one of those moments where you like it almost doesn't feel like it really happened, but it very much did. There was a moment where our popularity and Phil's lack of popularity and availability crossed over,
They
and we were able to get him on the show to promote one of his side projects.
And doesn't that also cross over with the kiss of death because the other guy on that interview is dead now?
Oh,
right?
That's true.
Bruce Corbett.
Bruce Corbett. Thank you.
Bubba.
Corbett the Bubba.
R.I.P. a Corbett.
But where else can you say that anyone on the planet got Phil Anselmo to talk to a Brooklyn Hasidic Jew who was hearing impaired?
He thought we were doing a bit.
Yeah, Phil Anselmo refused to believe that was a real person.
Yeah.
And I refuse to believe Phil Anselmo is a real person, so touche, motherfucker.
And
let's be real. Who do you know that more people like, Shlomo or Phil Anselmo?
Shlomo, for sure.
Of course.
Shlomo, by the way, an inductee into the RIP Livecast Hall of Fame. You could have all of our Hall of Fame specials on our Patreon, patreon.com/RIP Livecast.
I believe we play some of that interview.
Yes,
in the Hall of Fame episode, right?
Of course.
There's also when Pizza Destroyer talked to was
Greg
it Gunface or Greg Weeks? Okay,
that's right. He called us and was like, "Why don't you ask Greg Weeks when he's gonna come? He's gonna play a show or something." And I'm like, "Why don't you ask him yourself?" And I did a 3-way call, and he got so scared. Pizza Destroyer was a early Livecast fan that would call in.
I hope he's
all
doing
the
well.
time.
He was trying to get to jump on the Stephen Wright train of doing very deadpan stand-up humor, and did some of it on our show.
Oh my god!
So bad it was good.
And that was definitely a highlight. Of course, anytime we had Odorous from Guar on, that was an incredible, hilarious time. And, definitely miss Odorous.
There was a time he just Skyped in, like we didn't even ask, and he was just all of a sudden during the show, Odorous was calling. Remember that?
Yes.
All right. We'll talk to you.
Yes, we'll talk to the singer of one of the hugest bands in the world. Sure, why not?
Amazing.
I just sometimes I find it crazy that something we just started to fuck around resulted in us talking to the singer of Guar. You know what I mean?
To be fair, you had already talked to him previously.
Well, Rob, Rob, but still, it's just
I had it in.
But the fact that he would just come and walk in the door with his penis flapping out, and that this is somebody that a beloved documentary has been made about after his passing. Wow, this guy, and he was so down to earth. What like a nice guy.
Yeah,
I mean, I've clearly had personality issues with the people around him, but like, there's such a big heart there.
I don't have any problems with him.
Not you.
But also we had Limp Bizkit on. I thought, I mean, that's kind of wild.
Yeah.
We finally got to confront him about why he didn't hire me to run his website when I was 15. And,
Rob Van Dam did it. What's wrong?
Yeah, 96. Rude.
His loss.
I forgot what he
director
said.
now, so it worked out for him.
Oh, he got to direct John Travolta. That's a big honor.
Yeah.
Dusty Rose Buffalo says somebody who won't have a loving documentary on him is Seth Putnam.
There definitely should be a documentary about him, though. Is there not?
There's one about Gigi Allen.
Yeah, there's multiple. And there's going to be there's
going to be a movie, a biopic.
He's just Gigi Allen with a different genre of music.
Yeah. So come on, somebody work up that documentary about Seth Putnam if there is someone.
What makes it less palatable or marketable as a documentary is the fact that he has such a boring ass name. Like he just sounds like he's working at a pretzel shop in a mall. Seth Putnam versus
and
Gigi
even like
Allen.
Speaking to him, he was pretty like monotone and not a very dynamic presence. And like I guess like probably most of the people with the most interesting stories about him are also dead. So I don't know, like who's the panel of interview subjects
Us.
for that time? Yeah, yeah, just play our interview.
We're the last living people that talked to him.
I'm sure his mom is still alive.
Oh yeah. Well,
Are you sure? Why are
Well, I
you
don't know,
sure
sure.
his mom is still alive?
But also, it would be he had a very problematic
right.
Yeah.
career.
She might have
so I
been
don't
doing
know.
crack with him. Who knows?
Yeah. All of that is still, I mean, we don't need to necessarily celebrate it, but it should be documented. It's all very interesting.
Can I ask you?
Gigi Allen was fucking problematic as fuck, too.
Dusty said that guy from Anal Cunt who died on the escalator. What's that story? I don't know this.
Oh, there was one of the guitarist or whatever died in a mall or something.
He died because of the use of an escalator, or he had some episode while on an escalator.
Yeah, let me look up the story.
That'd be great if it was an escalator accident. That'd be fascinating to put in the story in the movie. We gotta let's greenlight this. We should
seriously
take the initiative.
Rob, do you know any documentarians that you can text?
Not at the moment.
I don't mean like right now, but just later today.
Okay.
Who's that guy, the Canadian dude who did like the Iron Maiden documentary and the Headbanger's Journey and all that stuff?
Yes. Dude, Sam Dunn.
There you go. Fucking do a Anal Cunt movie. Come on.
I'll hit him up.
Thank you.
So I found it. Guitarist Josh Martin passed away after falling from an escalator. According to a police report, the 45-year-old was reportedly, quote, clowning around and riding the rail of the escalator before he fell backwards off an escalator at the Providence Place shopping mall in Providence, Rhode Island.
So it was an escalator accident.
Yeah, the guitarist fell one whole floor and suffered a fatal injury after hitting his head on a table in the food court. Yikes! He was taken to the Rhode Island hospital, but was pronounced dead soon after.
How old was he?
45.
45?
45.
Wow.
Dusty said, "R.I.P. a cunt."
Episode title?
No, we can't do that. But I want to transition to someone who is not but quite a lovely lady. Talking about Noah. Hey, Noah.
Oh, I thought we had Seth Putnam's mother on.
Well,
is my camera on?
Yes,
we see you.
Yes, but I don't think I don't think your mic is what your sound is doing, because we hear.
How dare you call her out for that? She's an audio producer. This is her job. There's no way.
Oh, I know what's going on. Hold on. I should have done this before. No, it's connected to my regular microphone.
This is all staged. We wanted to recreate the audio.
There we are.
Issues from the beginning of the show.
To be fair, it's 3 a.m. where Noah is.
Look, I was all set up and ready to go for the Lamb Goat podcast. They're celebrating their 400th episodes. You guys are a little bit ahead of them, but they're not ready for me just yet.
I want you to know that's the second Lamb Goat podcast reference today.
I know.
You lamb-goated lamb goat reference.
It's also my 700th Lamb Goat reference on this podcast in total.
Probably.
One per show. You got to catch up for all the shows you missed in between.
Yeah.
Lamb Goat, Lamb Goat, Lamb Goat, Lamb Goat, Lamb Goat, Lamb Goat, Lamb Goat.
That's good. We're going to extract that to post on social media. Just you saying that with no context.
But other than visiting Lamb Goat, Noah, how have you been?
Fine. I've just been thinking a lot about whether or not Sid had sex 700 times in his life, and I hope the answer is yes.
It's close.
So you've been listening to this whole episode?
I started I think I was like 5 minutes late or something because I was in the toilet.
Taking a hot steamy shower?
Yes.
On the toilet like Rob?
Yeah, well, the funny thing is like, if you think about it, we might have taken like a collective poop together. We were all like on the toilet right before the podcast, or at least me and Rob have.
I think I went at like about 10:45. I would say.
I was like maybe 11:15.
We had staggered shits today. Sorry,
all right.
no.
That's the episode title. Done. Lock it in.
It was a nice thought. No, for sure. It was very sentimental.
Oh boy.
There's that sound effect.
It's not a sound effect, baby. It's coming from inside the house. So how have you been, Noah? Give us the update. What's new in Noah land?
Well, I want you to know that I am the 9th member of the Moon Sorrow podcast. It's not a podcast; it's a podcast.
Oh, it's got like a slash through the O or something.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
Norway.
exactly, or an umlaut. So unfortunately, like 8 years too late, there's a podcast out that I've must have spent like 700 hours trying to catch up with, where they dissect every Moon Sorrow movement, not even like every song, just
Bowel
like the
movement?
artwork, everything.
Does it have the bowel movements in there?
Possibly. I mean, I haven't gotten through that many hours just yet, but it could be.
Okay.
And so I've been trying to listen to that. That's like the new thing that I'm into right now, and it's guys from like all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, like one episode is where they unbox every single release
Wow.
Yeah.
from Moon Sorrow, and as you can see by this list, there's a lot.
God
I
damn.
was gonna say, how many albums do they have? Jesus Christ!
Well, they have all these LPs and even different versions of LPs.
I want to know, Noah. I have to follow up here. How did you find this?
On Instagram, they followed me, and you know their podcast title is like very direct. It's just Moon Sorrow podcast, as they say. And so I was like, "What is this?" And then their Instagram page is just like graphics from their podcast, or one of the slides.
Is that Jason Schwartzman on top there? That's definitely Jason Schwartzman. That's what he does now?
Is that guy like in Moon Sorrow, or is he the third mic of this spot? Like, who is that? Which one is which? I can't tell which ones are the band.
Oh,
I
no,
think these are all
the
oath keepers
hosts
that are into Moon Sorrow.
and they have to Photoshop me in there somewhere because I'm like in.
Oh, so you've communicated with them now?
No, this is me making my pitch right now.
Oh, okay.
Are you like their slow mo? Like, what is?
Yeah. I just call it stuttering.
What is that? Now look at this logo. Why is there like that S in Moon Sorrow looks suspiciously like an SS logo?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything suspicious about it.
No, it's a thunderbolt. It's a thunderbolt.
I don't know.
I think
Where's Moon Sorrow from?
Just put two of those together, and you see what I'm talking about.
Well, the guy with the beard. Well, I guess they all have beards. That was so stupid.
Oh, the guy with the beard. Yeah.
The one in the middle, he's from New York.
Me stupid.
Yeah. Wow, Darren.
You said it. I don't believe that.
But I wonder, do you remember that year, Rob, when where were we? We were with Justina, who is a great photographer in the metal scene. We went with her somewhere, and I got to interview the singer of Moon Sorrow for Metal Injection. Because I have a feeling they must have seen that interview, because I was such a nerd. I was like, oh my God, it's so embarrassing. I can't even watch that. Mm-hmm. But that has to be why they followed me, and they targeted me, and it worked.
Oh my God. Can we show like a second of this?
Yes.
Oh God. No.
Good evening. This is Villa from Moon Sorrow. You're about to get your fix of Metal Injection.
The last time we played this, Noah was so upset.
Villa of Metal Injection, and I'm sitting with Villa of Moon Sorrow.
Yeah.
Noah, how old are you there?
I don't know.
This is 2009, so this is a whopping 12 years ago, or 13 years ago.
38 minus 12 is what?
26.
Yeah, that's how old I am, I guess.
Little baby.
Mine to an area of music that I otherwise probably would have never known. So I'd like to personally thank you for creating. Oh God, this is like making me cringe. Can we turn it off?
Okay, we can stop.
Why did you allow me to do that, Rob? Where's your editing?
Allow you? I was.
Where are the director's notes?
No, you really evolved. I feel like you're a great on-air personality. Like, not just because we're like on the show, but I mean, like when I hear you do other things too. Thanks. You have just a great in studio like presence. Like this was just your starting out at point of that. So, but it just comes. It sounds a little bit like. It sounds.
Where did that come from?
Oh, I just reached out to the Epic Heat podcast. No, you're in the crew. You're
Wow,
in the
that's
crew
great.
now.
Oh,
I just
God.
wanted.
Rob, did you do that Photoshop like while we were?
How
Yes.
else could he do it? He didn't know.
Yeah.
God damn, Rob.
I mean, it's really. I just found one photo of Noah.
And Noah, you're
It's
seventh, Mike. Okay,
It's almost an upskirt, Rob. Be careful.
I like that I'm sitting on that guy's shoulder.
You like his bad conscience.
It looks like he's about to like take a bite out of your titty.
He also looks like he's 40 times the size of you.
Well,
That photo was also taken by the great Justina.
Yeah, that's funny that you mentioned.
Dusty wrote in the comments, "This looks like the box art for a gangbang DVD."
It does. I was about to say before Rob put that Photoshop up that when you were doing that interview, it sounded like the pre-fucking like interview part of a porno.
Okay,
The premise, though, of the DVD is that they're all 6 of these guys are virgins, so it's like Noah lays there, and we wait to see which one of them can figure out how to do sex first.
They all have to. It's like a game show. They have to impress her with their Moon Sorrow knowledge
Yeah.
of like cassette singles from 1997, and then she opens her legs for the winner.
That's the real unboxing.
Yes, we're all
The real
competing to get
unboxing.
inside.
Is the episode.
We're all competing to get inside Noah's labia.
Well, this is so you asked me what's up. This has been what's up with me as of late. So for anyone who's a fan of Moon Sorrow, go on this long ass journey with me.
So
Join
you just
Noah
come on the
Epic Heat-
podcast. Wait, go ahead, Rob. What did you say?
I said join Noah on the Epic Heat podcast. It sounds.
I don't think that's what I think. It's Epic Heathen.
Epic
It's
Heat.
just
I just like Epic Heat. Oh, you're right. I know. I prefer the Epic Heat.
You
podcast.
put that in the perfect spot, and now it says Oddcast too, which is
Yeah.
also perfect. This is the
Gonna be
oddest
the name of our
Oddcast there is.
OnlyFans.
I just love that the pre-existing Noah meme is that she prefers lamb goat to metal injection, and now the new one is that she comes on this podcast to promote a different podcast.
Snowberry
In
salad.
celebration of your 700th episode. Here's another podcast. The RIP a Livecast stars should listen to.
R.I.P. a Moon Sorrow.
Snowberry salad. Moon Sorrow looks like they own a problematic record collection. That has to be true. That has to
Well,
be true.
what did his shirt say? I think I just noticed that right now. It said like profane women or something. Maybe he looks like a very feminist shirt.
I'm sorry. I asked this question and then I think we got sidetracked. But I'm very curious. Are all of those guys on the podcast, or are 3 of them Moon Sorrow, or like
No.
who's?
All
No,
of those
they're
guys
all
are on the
just hosts.
podcast.
There's 6 voices on a podcast,
And they're
at
all
once?
from different countries. So one is from France, one is from I think like Brooklyn. Another one is from Belgium.
I mean, you could have told me they were all in Moon Sorrow. I would have had that.
Yeah,
just
seriously.
indistinguishable. Like, honestly.
Look at how Noah is looking. At
Oh
you.
my God!
Stop!
The
Stop!
The
I'm
look
so
of
embarrassed
love.
right now.
The look of love.
God. Just imagine if like I had gone out on a date with him, how punishing I would have been.
Oh,
in a good way, though.
He probably would have thrown himself down an escalator by the time we
on purpose, unlike the former member of Anal Cunt.
Could you imagine being 45 and fucking playing around riding the rail of an escalator? Like,
Yes.
wow.
in the food court. That is so
Honestly,
embarrassing.
Landing on his head made that way cooler than if he had just completed it safely.
That's true. That's true.
What are you doing? 45 years old. I don't even want to take escalators at 45 years old.
Was this before or after Seth died?
After, I believe.
All right, well, then he didn't have anything to live for at that point anyway, so.
Did you guys talk about how Seth called the live cast, or like we were supposed to have an interview with him, and he had just woken up from like one of his
Oh, yeah.
binges?
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
That's a
yes. We were
highlight.
going through some of our highlights. What, if any, are your highlights, Noah? From the past, do you have any favorite interviews that we've done on the show?
Geez, I guess like anytime we've had someone there present with us was great. Like the time that we snuck I mean, I guess I could say it right now because who cares? It's like 10 years later. When Randy had a book release and we did the interview at Sirius.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, that was really cool. Trevor being on the show always made it really fun. R.I.P.
Legend.
You know, I remember having a really good time, but I don't remember like what happened because we were so trashed. But when Suicide Silence came over and we did the podcast from Frank's house,
Yep.
and we played Death or No Death with them, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
That was one of the most lively episodes of that game, I would say.
Yeah,
They were so into it. Like they actually were trying to win the game. Like there was money.
That was a
on the
great
line.
game. And remember when like someone on the internet tried to copy it?
Yeah, I think that, you know what? And in fairness, I would say it could be, a Dane Cook situation where they just had the same idea because there are a lot of absurd death. But, I always wondered that in the back of my mind.
Right.
Lawsuit pending.
Still?
The sincerest form of flattery.
Rob's got to remember to email his lawyer.
I did love
years.
when we would do the Death or No Deaths. Those were always highlights. Or Sexual Jeopardy. Very, very fun episodes. We've done some with Dave Hill.
Well,
Travis from Cattle Decap, I believe we did one. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Rob. I didn't mean to cut you off, but Dave Hill went on some other show and they did Death or No Death with him, and he didn't even say anything. And it was after he did it with us, I think.
Is it Dave Hill that stole the idea and gave it to this other dude?
This whole time.
Plot thickens.
Rob, you have another text to send.
Well, while I do that, I do
another Photoshop to do.
Since it is our 700th episode, I did want to get some shout outs from some familiar faces. And, we always talk about the old New York and how much we miss the old New York. I wanted to. So one thing I did is we got a bunch of cameos, like literal cameos from folks from Livecast past. And I wanted to say, before I play the cameos, I wanted to make clear like what my pitch was to the person, because I made them, now these cameo folks, they're smart. If it's a personal one, it's a certain price, but then if it's for a business entity, it is a much more significant markup of a price. So we couldn't, I wanted to avoid them having to charge the markup, so I made these personal cameos to us. So the first person,
Cheap Jude Russia.
the first person is Roger Murray from Agnostic Front, who of course you might recall sang, I miss the old New York. And unfortunately we don't have Vinny Stigma. He is not on Cameo.
He does Pidgeo. He sends you a message by carrier pigeon.
I thought it was just he does cameos, but only to play for your pet pigeon.
You can only be a pigeon to request it.
So my request to Roger was, could you wish my friend Darren a happy birthday? He never got to go to CBGB, and we love to play your song, Old New York. So I would love if you could share any memories of the old New York, favorite places to eat, hang out, pick up girls, etc. And here's Roger's response.
Hey, Darren, happy birthday from myself, from Rob and Sid.
Yeah!
I wish you a happy birthday. I know you guys play that Old New York song. Well, yeah, I miss Old New York, Those are some of the best memories of my life. I miss CBGBs. I just missed that time, that era, It was just a magical time, magical area, great places to meet friends and be connected. And if it wasn't for that, I don't think I'll be here talking to you. So, hey, happy birthday.
All right.
Thank you. My birthday is coming up.
Yeah.
The greatest birthday in the world.
I just don't feel the same.
Surprisingly, he left out the part about the I miss drug dealers and every people getting murdered in the street every single block. I miss the old New York.
So he was wearing a Gracie I guess, like Gracie Barra shirt, which means that he trains jujitsu.
Is that
Or he just
surprising
has
to
the
you?
shirt. I mean,
Is there a New York
No, it looks like a
hardcore
rash
guy
guard.
that doesn't do jujitsu?
Also, no, I believe he lives in Arizona now. You might be able to train with him. We should look him up.
Oh my
Hey man,
gosh.
just
Well,
I'm
no wonder
excited.
he misses
Go
the
ahead.
old New York. He's on the other side of the fucking country now.
Well, you know what this means, right? If he lives 20 more years, we're going to get an old Arizona song.
I miss the old Tempe.
I miss the old Tucson. The
Okay.
cactuses don't stand up straight anymore. And I can't get any water out of them.
He's very parched.
It's like, there's no people around. And oh, that's the same, I guess. Okay.
Something about retirement communities in Scottsdale or something.
There used to be this guy who was beat him at checkers, but he went on Google and now he beats me all the time in my Arizona retirement community.
Dusty Rose Muffler says, get him on the Moon Sorrow podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
why
already
not?
making a call. We're already booking him.
This is the old Moon Sorrow. Their old stuff is way better.
That's what some of the guys say. I don't know. I
Really?
kind of disagree.
Is there dissent amongst the Moon Sorrow hosts? I got to hear this now. I want to actually made me want to hear this. Have
will
you
not
ever
be
actually
disappointed.
appeared? Like, have you called in? And
Well, I think I'm like 1 year too late because it seems like they started this podcast a year ago, and I think they went through all the albums. So
That's it. They're done.
unless Moonstar comes out with a new album, I don't think I'll be able to be a guest on their show. And
So
I
they're
don't know if
not
I
making
really
new
want
episodes. Is what you're saying?
to. No,
Oh, that
Sad.
sucks. We could have trolled the shit out of them.
no, not troll. I'm
well.
not doing this to troll them. Like
Right.
this is literally what I've been listening to.
Or by
That was
we, I
bad.
meant me and Robin.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know you
Hey, I
wouldn't.
don't want any part of that. I don't want
Well,
any part of that.
Moving on to the cameos, one that means a lot to me. We got the first lady of professional wrestling, Missy Hyatt. And Missy, big fan of hers growing up. And I wrote to Missy, who is Jewish, by the way. I've learned she's Jewish. I write, can you wish me a happy Hanukkah? Do you have any Hanukkah memories? Big fan growing up. Wanted to know if you had any advice on how I could talk to my coworker who I have an embarrassing crush on. We take the bus every day.
This is so creative.
Hey, Robert, this is Missy Hyatt, the first
Wait,
lady.
hold on. She's at a liquor store? She's fucking cameo
It's
from a
not a
liquor
store.
store?
Listen,
Looks like-
Sid.
We don't know. Can we just be a wine store, a supermarket?
Looks like a distributor.
She's in Florida. In Florida, you could have liquor at the supermarket. She
Sid,
could be at a Safeway. Sorry.
there were 6 places she could have been. This is probably the least objectionable one.
Are those Manischewitz behind her? At least is she keeping with the Hanukkah theme?
She looked around wherever, Christian Goyish neighborhood she was in and said, what's the most Jewy thing I can stand in front of? And it was Manischewitz wine in aisle 6.
Oh my God. This is already gold.
Hey, Robert, this is Missy Hyatt, the first lady of wrestling, who I like to be called the Walking Riot. Anyway, it says birthday up there, but then you say, can I wish you a happy Hanukkah? So, happy Hanukkah, which I'm pretty bad because I don't know when it starts this year. Oops. Anyway, I'm sure I'll know when it gets closer because my friends will be letting me know. Where's my present? Where's my present? No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, you need to get some advice on somebody that is a co-worker and that you ride the bus with every day. Well, this is the perfect way to do it. Find out what their hobby is, and then you investigate the hobby and find out as much as you can about it, and then you talk to her about it, or him about it, or whatever. And then just tell them, go, oh, I heard, you said that you like to do this, or whatever. And well,
I heard you listen to a Moon Sorrow
and then talk to
podcast.
them.
Yeah. Rob's furiously Googling Moonstar on it. Rob, did she sniff out that you're gay? She
I
she
know,
kind of.
impressive.
You didn't say any pronouns in the thing, right?
She's
My
afraid of the woke mob coming after her.
Well,
so she has to-
I wasn't specific if I said to
Right.
my coworker.
My coworker.
So I didn't say if it was a male or a female.
She was conscious about it.
Right,
which
that's
is
what.
nice.
Yeah.
Either she was conscious or she detected that you were.
She could tell by the way he typed
Yeah,
up that email.
Yeah, I didn't mention anything
There's a
about
bunch
her
of
tits or
rainbows.
anything. She was like, "Oh, this guy must be gay."
Yeah.
because all the straight guys that get are way dirtier and more explicit.
yeah, they just wanted me to show feet.
Because let me tell you, that's how my last boyfriend got me. He gave me his business card, and on the back he said, if you ever want to talk about wrestling or Civil War living history, let me know. And that did it. I called him right away because I was like, oh my gosh, he knows about Civil War living history.
To be
Oh my
clear,
God! Finally,
Missy
someone I
Hyatt-
could talk to about Appomattox.
Missy Hyatt does like Civil War LARPing. She'll do
Oh
like,
no!
she'll do like she'll
Is
get
it
into
at least? Is she doing it where like the South wins? Is it like fanfic or is
no,
it?
I don't.
Got news for you: the South wasn't too crazy about Jews.
Yeah.
And he did. He knows all about the Civil War. He's a big history geek like me. So find out what her hobby is or what she's passionate about, and then just talk to her about it. You'll win her over. Promise you. Anyway, happy Hanukkah. Mwah.
Oh my God!
I got
Beautiful.
that was great. I got to say one thing: whatever supermarket that is, I want to stand in there because that lighting. She looks great compared to recent pictures I've seen of her. She looks fantastic in
Well,
that.
maybe she knows her angles. That's why she does it in the supermarket.
But does she not know her angles any other time she's in front of a camera ever? Because she looks terrible. I was expecting like the Crypt Keeper, and she looks she looks wonderful. I'm not. I mean, am I wrong? She looks.
That's a
looks
very
way
ageist
better.
statement, Darren.
It's not
Why, because she's an
ageist.
older lady?
No, she looked like that when she was 30. She just did bad plastic surgery, I think.
Well, we got advice from the woman's perspective. I also wanted to get advice from the male's perspective. So so we reached out to legendary porn star Peter North, and I write to Peter, "Hey Peter, love your films, especially the epic finales." Crazy question. I have developed an embarrassing crush on my coworker. We ride the bus together often. What should I do? Also, if it's not too much, any tips on shooting larger loads?
Oh, you didn't use my question about the you tried to find his. I'm a big fan of your films, not those. I couldn't find them.
I didn't want to do that because I didn't want anything where he would reject it because I know he's sensitive about it.
Fair
you know,
enough.
so,
That's a good point.
yeah. So here is Peter North's response.
Hey Robert, how you doing? This is Peter North, and
By the way, I just want to say it is so weird to have them address me.
I know. He needs to go stand in that supermarket, I think. The magic
Also,
lighting supermarket.
The shadow from his hat makes him look like he's one of the Road Warriors.
Oh, yeah.
He's got like
under
Road
eye
Warrior
makeup.
Hawk makeup on.
Like a masquerade mask.
What a load. All right, let's see
Wow.
what Peter has to say.
hey Robert, how you doing? This is Peter North, and yeah, if you're riding the bus together, and they're probably bench seats, try to sit next to this person and strike off conversation. I mean, even if it doesn't go anywhere, I mean, your coworker. So, I mean, you got a coworker. So just, you know, we all strike out here or there. We don't get anywhere in some cases, but you always got to be willing to go up to bat. Always got to be willing to go up to bat because you got to go with the odds. I mean, you know, you're not going to hit every pitch. You know, basically using an analogy for baseball. So you're not going to hit every pitch. So yeah, just be yourself and just, you know, have to come up with any amazing zinger lines, but just talk about, you know, maybe something at work or, you know, just, you know, strike up conversation. It's that simple. It's like
We're not even at the halfway point yet.
Be yourself and be nice, and don't worry about if you don't get anywhere. Just be in the friend zone at least. I've got
Is he
a couple
talking about
really attractive
hitting
girls
on a
that I'm in the
girl
friend
or
zone
about
with.
coming on her?
He didn't get to the coming part yet. I think this is about the bus situation.
I gotta say, he looks pretty good for 65. He has a good surgeon, whoever it is, because I would not guess that this is a 65-year-old man.
I wouldn't
What
say
would
he
you
looks
get?
65, but I would say those cheeks are like 4/5 of his face.
Yes, that's true, but yeah, he looks weird, but he doesn't look old weird. If
That's
that
his
makes
Definitely
sense.
doesn't look
I
like a
guess.
porn star.
I'd give him like early 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, even 40s, I would say. He just
Yeah.
looks preserved like a museum relic.
Yeah.
Because I've
He's like
been
a
out
bust
with
of
their
Imhotep.
girlfriends. I've gone out with their girlfriends, so we kind of stay in that place. But and that's fine. But yeah, as far as
He doesn't even
the
want
cum
to say
shot,
Natural
the
talent. You
big,
can't.
the big question.
Oh my God.
Basically, make sure you're hydrated. Make sure definitely make sure you're hydrated. I take vitamin E capsules too. Take one or two a day of 400
That's
IUs
why his skin
of,
looks that good.
vitamin E capsules. I remember Dr. Drew even on the Love Line said something about doing that. So that can help, and just build it up. The longer you build, the more you build up, the longer you take to bust that nut, the more you're probably going to do. I've done some of my biggest pop shots in still photography shoots. Basically, shooting for a magazine and hardcore and stuff like that. And
Didn't have to answer.
because you're going in different places to shoot different.
This is
positions,
longer
so
than the
you have
Moon
to
Sorrow
lay out a certain
podcast.
part, so you have to get it going again. So you're kind of masturbating all day, and you don't get paid as much. So not as crazy as on the still shoots, but and they don't pay as much. But yeah, so I hope that helps. Good luck. All right.
I'll go
Take
more in
care.
depth about
God
this on
bless.
my Patreon.
Wow, he opened up like he blossomed as soon as he started talking about cum shots.
Yeah.
When he was talking about having to have communication with a girl,
Because he doesn't do that.
with cum
Yeah,
shots.
he just
Like,
comes
let's
on
go.
them.
I thought at first he didn't want to talk. He seemed like he's like, oh, the thing about the load. I thought he was gonna like even shy away from having to talk about porn at first.
He can't help it though. Once he starts, he can't stop himself.
At the beginning of
I get
that
it.
cameo, I was like, "Oh, this is probably the worst one because he's like so awkward." But then
Yeah.
it really turned a corner.
He got
and I
into
guess
his.
it's all over my face. So
He got
Are you
into his
gonna try
comfort
it?
zone.
I'm curious now about these vitamin E capsules. I wonder if that.
I feel like this is sort of like asking Wade Boggs how to hit. Like I don't think there's any like. I think he's just the greatest cum shot guy of all time by genetics.
But certainly, but
But
it's good to know. It's
You're
good
not,
to know
but you're not gonna come like Peter North no matter what you do.
Oh, I don't think so.
Well, I have
I'm
a
not expecting that.
question.
But yes, go ahead.
About something that he said, and since I can't possibly know if it's possible, but how long can you hold in a load, and does it start to hurt?
Holding a load meaning like you've been aroused, like you've partially had sex and you're holding it back,
you're
or
edging?
or
Good
like
question.
waiting 2 weeks to do any activity.
That one.
Yeah. Oh well, I went 5 weeks once.
And what
famously.
happened?
What happened is the nut went on top of my ceiling.
Okay.
Yeah, the
Almost.
longer I go, I agree with that. The longer.
But how long can guys hold it without coming?
Eventually, you're going to have a nocturnal emission,
I have
but
never.
I think it's different depending
Not
on the
since
person.
I haven't since
Yeah.
puberty. I haven't had a nocturnal emission.
Well, you haven't waited that long then.
Yeah.
I have at times. I think my average nowadays is like a week, probably.
Okay, but can you go like a month?
I could if I absolutely had to for some reason. Like if
I would
was-
prefer not to. I would.
I
say
would-
it
But
too
No, I
has
think
become-
she's saying, can you go a month without having a nocturnal emission?
Oh,
Or
I
just
think
any
so.
kind
Yeah.
of emission from your penis.
Hmm.
Oh well, you have to piss though.
Okay, piss, but like
like
ejaculation.
a sexual. Yeah.
No, I think so. Yes, I have inner zen with my. I think I can view sex as like when I feel like it, fun activity, as opposed to like I need to do this right now when I was like 20.
Interesting.
It
It doesn't start
has
hurting.
you know what does hurt? If I start to have my
ego.
penis stimulated and then it stops. Like the blue balls is a real thing.
Oh, okay.
For me, I can't.
But
I've
you
heard
don't
other
get like
people
accidental boners or like morning wood.
I do. I don't honestly. Once in a while, like yesterday, I had a really bad morning boner. But that's not sexual. That's like your penis filling up with piss. I think, whereas normally it would fill up with blood when you're aroused. Right? Like you sleep so long and you don't relieve yourself that it goes into the chamber to be fired out. The piss, right? That's what a morning wood
is. It? I
think so.
I haven't researched morning wood.
It's like when you hold your piss for a long time when you're awake, the same thing happens. Like you get a boner, I believe. Yeah.
Piss boner.
But you just don't usually do that when you're awake. You just go,
Why did it take 700 episodes for me to learn this?
I wonder if Peter North can still fire off a nut like that, or if he's diminished in age and it has ruined. Maybe they took his cum sacks out and put them in his cheeks.
Oh no! So now it just shoots out of his nose.
Yeah, or you think when he cries, like he has a long cum shot like distance from his tears?
No, so I'm reading like a science healthline.com. There's nothing about urine. It's saying it's all like you're physically stimulated, like your body rubbed against the bed, or a testosterone shift.
I was purely misinformed. I apologize, audience.
Or your brain is relaxed.
The reason I say that is because I always
we go. It says it says needing to urinate is not responsible for morning wood.
But the thing is though, whenever I have that and then I go urinate, it goes away immediately. And if I don't,
could it be that because you're focusing on peeing as opposed to your
you're switching gears.
horny thoughts?
Yeah, that makes sense. But I don't feel horny at the time I have a morning wood either.
Well, your penis does.
Right. Mentally, I don't though.
Well, you're certainly not going to feel horny when you see this next cameo. And I'm gonna.
Are you sure?
I'm going to surprise you on who it is. But I will read the message, and it says, "My friend Darren's birthday is coming up, and I'd like for him to get a happy birthday from his favorite bassist, and he also plays bass. He's been a bit shy about starting a TikTok account, so any encouragement would be helpful."
Hey there, Darren. How are you, my friend? Hey, Rob and Sid stopped by Cameo here to give you a shout out. First of all, happy birthday. I understand you got a birthday coming up, and you're also a bass player, which is super rad, so that's cool. And they were telling me that you were a little shy about getting a TikTok account.
Rob, could you pause for a second? You should have mentioned that Darren was about to have his 18th birthday. Then Dave might have been a little bit more excited in his delivery.
Wait, Darren could be a girl's name, maybe possible. He would have had his dick out on this camera.
Man, like how much? Like who's doing who the favor here?
Right.
Like, geez, dude, come on. Like, take a shower before doing this. I was like, wow.
Paying good money here, bro.
So that's cool. And they were telling me that you were a little shy about getting a TikTok account and to have me encourage you. Unfortunately, I'm probably not the best guy for that because I'm not a TikTok guy either. In fact, I find the whole platform super annoying and avoid it at all costs. But that's just me. So for some, it's wonderful. So do what you do, and maybe just get one so your friends will leave you alone. So anyway, hope you're well, my friend. Look forward to seeing you soon on the road. And again, happy birthday, buddy. See you, Darren. Bye.
Okay, I give him credit for leaning into the whole scandal thing slightly. That was nuts. That was good.
Okay.
I wanted to read a couple of things before they fade into this scrolling
sure.
hell. While we were talking about the Moon Sorrow podcast, Snowberry Salad said, call in at 317 Wide Sorrow.
Wide Sorrow.
And also, Dusty Rose Muffler, while we were talking to Missy Hyatt, he said, "Did you ask her for Bill Apter's phone number, Rob?" Because that had
Bill Apter?
Bill Apter was like the number one famous wrestling photojournalist. Like he was famous for doing, but he's like a little
Did all the
schlubby Jewish
magazines.
guy, so he's like a mini Livecast meme. We've been mentioning him fairly often on here. He's like he has photos with the Iron Sheik and Andre the Giant. He's like that old. He's like an old schlubby New York Jew that took pictures of wrestlers in the 80s and 90s.
Apparently, he also has a podcast,
Oh, really?
the Apter Chat podcast.
Yeah, I heard they go through all the Moon Sorrow albums too. It's like a competing podcast with the Moon Sorrow podcast.
It's the crazy thing is, it's him and Moondog Rex
Yeah!
talking about Moon Sorrow. So
They couldn't
Makes
get
sense.
Spot? What's he doing?
he's got his own show. Doesn't want to pair up.
How about Max Moon? Is he a third mic? Luna Vachon?
Oh, rest in peace.
Spanish for moon? Ember Moon? That's enough.
So this last one, I'm not going to say who it is, but I will say just this one part of the request was, it's my friend Sid's birthday, and I wanted to convince his partner Darren to eat some more ass. Do you have any advice? So with that said, here it was the best for last. My favorite cameo, worth every penny.
Oh my God, Rob just informed me that it's Sid's birthday and Darren needs to know what he needs to be doing with his mouth. You know,
To be clear, this is Kaya.
She looks
For our
great.
audio listeners.
She doesn't need to stand in a supermarket wine aisle. She looks fantastic.
Seriously.
for Sid for his birthday. So I'm here to let you know that first you got to put your neck into it, Darren. Don't stop, just do it. Then you roll your tongue from the crack back to the front. Then you suck it all till Sid shakes and come, Darren. Make sure he keeps busting nuts, Darren, all over your face and stuff. It's Sid's birthday. Show him so much love. And that is coming from Miss Neck and Back. Don't stop, just do it. Happy birthday, Sid. You already know me and Rob loves you so much. Now it's time for Darren to show you just how much he loves that and that crack. Happy birthday, baby. Wishing you many more. That's what's up. Darren, don't stop, just do it. Just like that. In that order. Happy birthday, baby.
I feel so scolded.
That is the queen of cameo. That was a fantastic cameo.
That's how you do a cameo. This is what she's very savvy too, because she got to the part with the pussy and she was like, well, I don't know, the gender wasn't specified, so she left that out.
Everybody has a crack though.
Yes, you could be a woman and be named Sid, you know.
Yeah,
Sydney.
that was amazing.
Fantastic stuff.
We learned so much.
And
Everyone
if you
just
compile that with the Peter North one, so Darren learns how to eat my ass, and then I learn how when I shake and come to make it go further.
And Rob tells a story about it on the bus and gets to fuck Noah.
And then
And
we all
Mick-
drink some wine.
What
You gotta
skill
ma-
do I get?
You get to learn about Moon Sorrow from Rob Wikipediaing them.
And
to
you
impress
watch
you.
Dave
calling them
Ellison whacking off
boobalicious.
in the corner.
Rob is so good at Googling and internet stuff that he finds out stuff that these nerds on the Moon Sorrow podcast don't even know.
Rob can be the Moonsara podcast Googler.
Rob found Vile's live journal where he talks about his crush on a girl he takes the fucking
Yeah.
Viking ship with.
I had a crush on Neva Braun.
Oh no!
Wrong country.
Close enough.
Leni Riefenstahl. Yeah, that was my first celebrity crush.
Amazing.
Triumph of the Will was fascinating.
I wanted to show this is what they look like nowadays. This is Moonstar today.
Was that the podcast or the
this guy?
No,
This
that is
the
not
guy you
today.
interviewed.
That
No,
looks pretty old.
That looks like the same amount of hair
There
as
we
back
go.
in 2009. So I would venture to say it's not.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, a little chubbier. There you go.
Okay.
Little paunch.
Oh,
looks like Jeff Bridges.
Oh, look at his
Little
little
tattoo of Al's.
That's cute.
Wasn't this guy in System of a Down too? The bassist?
seriously.
I don't think
No.
that guy was in the band when I interviewed them.
Mm.
We miss the old Moon Sorrow. Very sad.
No, have you gone to any shows while in
Yeah.
Arizona? Any good shows?
I've been to more than I was going to in New York before I left because going to see shows here is like so easy and fun, and the venues are great. I think the last show that we went to see was Gate Creeper, and there was a band that I really like. Their name is Wormhaven, and it's WYRM, and they're a local Tucson, and Sex Prisoner.
Oh no.
Yeah. Sid, you know that band?
Sure. Big fan. I have their 7-inch.
7 inches of what? Yeah,
That's
I
what
went
it's
to see
called.
them. What else did we go see? We went to see Carcass.
Oh, nice.
Crocus?
With
There. Do you guys listen to Turnstile?
Mm-hmm.
Really like them. I kind of like regret not going to see them. They
Yeah.
were in Phoenix not too long ago.
They're very fun live.
Yeah.
The children love them. I feel a little old going to see them because it's
But
a
they're
bunch
not a
of
new
people
band,
in their
though. That's the weird thing. They've been around.
Yeah, but I feel like their audience is like teens and early 20s, and they know like every word to every song. It's very cute.
Yeah.
Fandom?
Yeah, it's cute.
just cute. I mean, don't lots of people at every show you go to know the words to the headliner songs?
No, not
Really?
like this.
Oh. I mean, they're like a hardcore band, right? Isn't that like the whole thing at a
Yeah.
hardcore show? Everybody's like up front
Well,
singing
like
along?
they were a hardcore band. Now it's like kind of like pop-y. Like it's more like pop-ish.
It's
like
easy listening.
alternative rock.
Well, they're in a
more
Taco
than-
Bell commercial, right?
They are?
Well,
there's
they're one of the
a
songs.
riff.
Yeah, one of the songs is like
Oh.
it was licensed for a Taco Bell.
Now I don't like them anymore.
Because they're fucking sellouts.
How dare they?
They're on Roadrunner. They're on a major label. You've been marketed to.
Roadrunner's a major?
It's just an imprint. It's a imprint of Warner Music. Which is
Oh.
Do you have any memories of working with Roadrunner like early on when we would go to like what was that? It was like the when Roadrunner took like members of like Anthrax and like a bunch of other bands and put them together.
Roadrunner United.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
remember
that
going
was
to
at
those?
the. Yes, we got so drunk. There was a 4-hour open bar, and all these rock stars roaming around. It was very interesting. And then they all went up on stage and did a bunch of fun covers, and we were very drunk. And I believe Noah, you took a bunch of photos, and they were some of. And then I remember I was a intern at Roadrunner at the time, so I linked to the gallery from Roadrunner's website, and it crashed our website. It was very exciting.
Yeah, that was like a big moment for us.
Yeah, that was really fun. But thinking into the future, something a lot of people have been using lately has been this app, GPT, rather, just Chat GPT, and it's an AI bot where you basically put in a prompt, and it will just like you could put in anything, and it'll write it up for you. So
it thinks for you.
Yeah, so whether it be like write a welcome letter for my resume, write a cover letter for my resume, or write out this code, or you could write out a song or write out some dialogue. So I thought it'd be fun if we used it a little. Like for example, write out a witty conversation between Metallica frontman James Hetfield and Megadeth frontman Dave Mustaine, where James finally apologizes for kicking Dave's dog
Oh no.
in the 80s. And it just writes it up.
Who's gonna be who?
Well, we know who has to be Dave.
I could do James. Oh, it's gonna be is how long is it gonna be? Oh, okay, there we go. All right, so let's see. Hey Dave, long time no see.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Listen, just want to say I'm sorry for kicking your dog back in the 80s. That was really immature and unnecessary.
Thanks for finally apologizing, James. I appreciate it.
No problem, man. Think a lot about it and a lot lately, and I realized that what I did was really messed up. Hope you can forgive me.
Of course, man. It's all water under the bridge now. Let's just move on and focus on the music.
Sounds good to me. I'm glad you better be honest and be friends again.
Me too, James. Let's grab a beer and catch up.
I don't drink.
How can you say that, Dave?
This is all a plot. Now he wants just to get James back in rehab.
Get that tour postponed.
Now, this, I gotta say, this conversation is making me feel much more confident and safe that there will not be a robot apocalypse and a revolution of machines against human beings. Because there's no fucking way that these two men would react in this way. If this subject came up, Dave would be putting on his karate gi to kick James in the nuts. And James would be like, I'm never fucking drinking with you.
What, Rob, let's move on from the dog thing. What if it's Write a Megadeth song where Dave is begging for another Big Four tour?
They're going to go right to metal injection articles.
Verse 1. Oh my god.
This is great.
It's doing it. It's rendering it. Do you want to give it a shot, Darren?
Yeah. Down on my knees, begging please for another chance to be part of the Big Four. I know I messed up in the past, but I'm ready to make it right. Open the door. Let me back in. Give me another chance. I'll show you that I've changed. I'm not the same. I'll put on a killer show. We'll rock the night. Just give me another chance. Let me back in the Big Four.
You would never sing this next line.
I gotta do that like bridge thing. Oh, there's a bridge part. I'll save it for that. I'm tired of playing small shows. I need the big stage. Oh, you know what I should do? I should play this thing. Hold on. Let me get this out. Yeah. Tired of playing small shows. I need the big stage. I'm ready to rise to the top. Let's make it happen. I'll put on a performance that you'll never forget. Just give me another chance and I'll make it all worth it. Let me back in. Give me another chance. I'll show you that I've changed, that I'm not the same. I'll put on a killer show. We'll rock the night. Give me another chance. Let me back in the Big Four. And then, this would be like the part where he does that weird British voice. I don't know if you know what I'm saying. I'm ready to face the critics. And like Dawn Patrol, you know that one? My body and the haters. I'll prove that I still got it, and I'm not a faker. I'll bring my A game and give it my all. Just to give me another chance, and I'll make you proud. This is the same as the other part.
Yeah, all right.
That was really good.
Any other? And look, you could even have it try another. We could make it do another song. If you
Oh,
want
wow.
it.
Let's see if it's any good. We skip over it if it sucks.
Another one?
Yeah.
Another version of the song?
If it's like roughly the same thing, I won't see. Ah!
This is where a
This
slow
is a
jam.
Boys to Men song.
Boys to
it's
Men. Oh, God, give me the reason.
Here.
I'm down on bended knee.
Big Four, give me one more tour. We'll make it
Motown
bigger
Philly
and better
back
than before. Big Four, we're begging you, please don't ignore.
Doing a little Big Four swing.
This is really good. I have an idea for one.
Go ahead.
Okay.
It's a letter written by Sean to us explaining why he bailed on sitting in on today's episode.
Oh, he was supposed to be on the show today?
Yes.
No, I'm just completely making up a hypothetical scenario, Noah.
Oh.
I was gonna say, Noah, this is our 700th show, and it's the 600th time Sean bailed on us.
It's another milestone.
Yes, 2 milestones.
His
in
contract
one
only
day.
went up to 600.
Dear RIP Livecast, I'm sorry for bailing on the podcast last minute. Something came up and I had to deal with it. I know it was unprofessional and I apologize. I appreciate the opportunity to sit in on the podcast. I'm sorry it didn't work out. I'm sorry. I'm a big fan of the show and sorry for. Wait, try again, but be more conversational.
Can you do that? That's works. This.
Yeah. And apologize to Rob.
Can you give it, wait! Don't hit enter yet. Can you give it notes on Sean's personality?
Yeah. Be more conversational. Yeah.
And keep in
Like
mind,
what?
you're a ginger.
And he's a dirtbag, like kind of.
And
Not. I don't mean a
very
dirtbag
horny.
physically. I mean he's just like a vulgar guy. You know what I mean? I don't mean like he doesn't shower or something. I mean he's like.
Or
You like piss showers?
and vulgar. mention
Doritos bags.
Mention 7 grindcore bands in 1 minute.
All right, let's see. Hey, RIP Livecast. What's up? Sorry for bailing on the podcast last minute. Something came up and I had to take care of it. I know it's unprofessional and I apologize. Rob, I'm sorry for ditching you guys last minute. I know you put a lot of work into the podcast and I fucked up. Sorry, man. I'm a big fan of the show and sorry for any inconvenience I may have caused. I'm a huge grindcore fan and some of my favorite bands are Napalm Death, Big Destroyer, Carcass, Nasum, Brutal Truth, Agoraphobic Nosebleed, and Phobia. Anyway, I'm sorry again and I hope you could forgive me.
Now
Later,
that
Sean.
Slightly more captured the essence of Sean because of the
Yes.
bands, but those bands are too big for him.
Yeah.
He likes Pig Destroyer, but I think the rest of them would be too big for him.
More obscure bands.
Okay, I'm gonna try again, but make it sound like it was written in the 1800s and use more obscure grindcore band.
Sean holding a pitchfork, taking a break from baling hay to write us a letter.
My dear RIP Livecast, please forgive my abrupt departure from your esteemed podcast. I was called away on urgent business and was unable to continue our recording. I hope you will find it in your hearts to forgive my transgression. Rob, my apologies to you in particular. I know you put a great deal of effort in preparing for our recording, and I regret that I was unable to see it through completion. Please accept my sincerest apologies. I am a great admirer of the art of grindcore, and some of my favorite bands in the genre include Anal Cunt, Last Days of Humanity, Worm Rot, Extreme Noise Terror, Piss Christ, Insect Warfare, and
Real.
Rotten Sound.
Real.
All of these are real. Once again, my deepest apologies for any inconvenience I may have caused. Sincerely, Sean.
All right. Now, since we're doing apology letters to Rob, can we get a Jose Mangan apology letter to Rob for firing you like a dog in the street?
Can
Come
we?
on.
All right.
No.
You gonna do it?
No,
You
I
have
don't want
to do it.
that.
You have
No.
to do it.
No.
I got
I
one.
already said it, so it's out there. So just
What's
do
yours,
it.
Darren?
I'm gonna save you, Rob. I want to do the introductory 5-minute segment of a documentary about the Lebby Kletsky murders.
Wait, 5-minute segment. That's going to be a whole lot of fucking text.
No, just
Write the
sample text.
introduction to a documentary, to a true crime documentary on the murder
They need a
of
podcast on that. For
Lebby
sure.
Kletsky.
Make sure you spell it right so it knows what it's googling. Go
Yeah,
look
I'm
it up
gonna.
quickly.
Look at Rob, how fast he is at doing all this.
It's Kletsky with a Z. Yeah.
I got
There you
it.
go.
Not Lisa with an I, because Lisa with an I goes not z. Oh, that's a musical. I don't think
with a little bit of dark humor in it.
Oh my god.
Oh.
One of my
Welcome to
favorite
the
dark
tragic
humor
tale.
bands.
Well, Darren, you read this one.
Welcome to the tragic tale of Libby Kletsky. This is the true story of a young boy from Brooklyn who was brutally murdered in the summer of 2011. It's a sad and horrifying tale, but stick with us, and we'll take you on a journey through the events leading up to the murder and the investigation that followed. But beware, this is not for the faint of heart. The details of this case are gruesome and disturbing, so if you're easily upset, you might want to turn back now. For those of you who are still with us, grab some popcorn and get ready for a wild ride. I'm not sure a wild ride is appropriate for a boy found in a dumpster. We'll take you through the streets of Brooklyn, meet the key players in this tragic tale, and try to make sense of a senseless act of violence. So sit back, relax, and let us tell you the story of Libby Kletsky.
Let us chop you up.
Let us chop you up into a million pieces. The little boy who tragically lost his life far too soon.
That's pretty good. It's a little, the tone is wrong, but
Yeah.
the content I feel would fit right in. They need to just tweak the tone.
It seems like one of those things where I'm sure you've also done on book reports where you write the same thing over and over, like in a different way, but you're saying the same exact thing without any additional details.
Yeah. Rob, write an apology letter from Vince Neil to Andy McCoy for killing his drummer.
Just say
Oh,
write a
it's
letter. Write a letter
you
saying he's
stumped it.
proud that he killed Razzle. How about that?
You stumped it. Look, it's not giving anything.
It's
It's
thinking.
it's too personal to the chatbot. He's a really big Hanway Rocks fan.
They got an ethic patch in the ethics patch in the chat bot. Should we do this?
Wow. Or is Hanway Rocks too obscure and the chatbot doesn't even know what to say?
Dusty Rhodes Muffler suggested we do Mike Francesa related one.
Nope.
Too many
Oh.
requests.
Too many
Please slow
requests,
down.
Rob, you're being too needy.
We can come back to this. I was going to say we should
Computer's rejecting you.
What if we write a short dialogue between Mike Francesa and his son, where he scolds his son for watching too much WrestleMania? But it would have to know Mike Francesa's personality, I guess.
Well, I give the chatbot the benefit of the doubt. Mike Francesa has an internet presence. That
What
information is out there.
What's the status on Mike Francesa? I don't follow sports news.
He's got like a podcast now, I think. He's not on the air anymore.
It's all about Moon Sorrow.
Yeah.
He's not on the air, and he's not on and his app is defunct and everything. So he just does a podcast now. Occasionally, like he puts out an episode when he feels like it, or some sports thing happens. He comments on it. He goes on his podcast to comment. He's like Frankie Palmieri, sporadic content.
Okay.
There we go. Hey, son, what are you doing sitting on the couch all day watching wrestling? Son, I'm watching Callisto on WrestleMania, Dad. He's my favorite wrestler.
Watching all that wrestling isn't going to do you good. You're going to need to be doing something more productive with your time. You wait on hold for an hour and a half just to do that.
Dad, I really enjoy watching wrestling. It's fun and exciting.
I understand that you enjoy it, but you need to find balance, okay? There's more to life than just watching wrestling all day, okay? How about going outside and playing a sport or picking up a hobby?
Oh, you could say, like, here we go. Try
the
again,
ironic thing,
but add random, add a random, okay, every few sentences Mike talks.
This is also the same conversation Rob and his dad had when Rob was 15.
Well, you can't be designing websites for Rob Van Dam all day, okay? Go outside.
There we go. Now,
Okay.
Yeah, you just start from this.
Watching all that wrestling isn't going to do you any good, okay? Oh, they did. That's no okay there. You need to be doing something more productive with your time, okay?
But Dad, I really enjoy watching wrestling. It's fun and exciting.
I understand that you enjoy it. Okay, but you need to find a balance. It's more life than just watching wrestling all day. I'm about going outside and playing a sport or picking up a hobby. Okay?
Okay, Dad, I'll try finding something else to do.
Just remember to use your time wisely and not get too caught up in one thing. There's a big world out there with lots of different things to explore and learn about. Okay?
Way too nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
not
doesn't
that
love his
thoughtful.
son that much. I guarantee you that.
All right, I got one. All right. A Yelp review written by a Southern Brooklyn metalhead loser about kosher pizza restaurant Jerusalem 2.
Kosher pizza restaurant.
You want to specify a negative or positive Yelp review?
I'll let the AI draw their own conclusions.
So we may get the first AI judgment of J2 Pizza
Yeah.
in history. It's like an awakening moment. This is like Skynet being born.
Is AI anti-Semitic? We're about to find out.
Not real pizza. Jews can't make real pizza.
Darren,
All right,
go on.
Darren, I think you know how to read this.
I recently visited Jerusalem 2 Pizza and was blown away by the quality
Of their kosher pizza.
as a self-proclaimed Southern Brooklyn metalhead loser. I have high standards for my pizza.
And this place did not disappoint. The crust was perfectly crispy.
The toppings were fresh and flavorful. I especially loved their unique blend of spices,
which added an extra kick to the overall taste.
But what really impressed me was the friendly and accommodating service. The staff went out of their way to make sure I had everything I needed and were happy to answer any questions I had about the menu. Overall, I highly recommend Jerusalem 2 Pizza to anyone looking for delicious kosher pizza in the area. This place is a hidden gem, and I will definitely be back for more. /M//M//.
I can't believe it added that. All that's missing is him mentioning the Wi-Fi at the place. Otherwise, it was spot on, and I'd have believed it was written by him.
This captured the tone of what we were trying to get more than any of the others by far. So it tells you maybe our friend who writes those Yelp reviews is close to an AI, maybe. Similarly devoid of human touches.
The I stands for ignorance.
Or it could be in the RIP thing today. RAIP, the live cast.
Rape.
Oh, no. Oh, no. What have
There's
I
a
done?
really funny comment from Dusty Rhodes Muffler about Turnstile.
Where is it?
What does it
He
say?
goes, Turnstile, didn't that guy from Anal Cunt fall over one?
The other guy from Anal Cunt, that's not Seth Putnam, died in a horrific turnstile accident. I see one here, Mark B talking to Harold Radish.
Oh, who is Harold Radish? I didn't catch up on that.
One of the guys in the nursing veterans hospital that he works at.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I guess. Right?
Yeah, he's like a war hero or some.
All right. Well, I think that's enough for the AI bot for today.
That was fair. That could just be our show from now on. It's just 90 minutes of AI bot conversations
that's it.
that we input. That was delightful.
We had some cameos. We had some AI fun. Talked about Peter North's balls being transported into his cheeks. Very nice. Missy Hyatt looking great, standing in one exact spot. Supermarket. You know, I wanted to say, by the way, our supermarkets here sell booze. I mean, they all have Chateau Diana. You guys know Chateau Diana, right?
No.
Wow. Oh my God. It's like the New York City branded cheap wine that's in every supermarket.
Okay.
Yeah, you can sell beer, but in other states they sell hard liquor in supermarkets. Like you could get all your vodka and whiskey needs with your, cream cheese or whatever in your
And
milk.
honestly, I only called her out for being at a liquor store because that's a funnier scenario than her being at a supermarket. That's all.
I just like the supermarket lighting helping out her cameos. Like she probably does the runs. Oh, I got another cameo. Bleep bleep. She goes down to the
She
supermarket.
takes her golf cart down.
Yeah,
as
I
all
mean, I guess like
Floridians.
she did that in front of people. There must have been other patrons to that store.
Unless, wait a minute, does she work at the supermarket?
Oh.
And this was like after hours after they closed, and she's just like sweeping up, and she decided to knock out a few cameos.
Are you doing cameos again? Get back to the deli slicer. What are you doing?
Missy, we're not paying you to record yourself. Get back. It's possible.
Then. It is possible. Dusty Rose Muffler writes, my favorite livecast memory was the Rebecca Moore cameo for 3D.
The one good and appealing thing she ever did in her career.
Do you have that on
True
hand,
classic.
Rob? We could play that one more time.
Sure. Let me get
Darren
it.
doesn't want to see that.
No, I don't
It
mind.
is-
He had
This
a
one I
boner
don't
this
mind because
morning.
it's actually funny, unlike her like real content.
Or wait, Rob, do you have the video of you lip syncing the Rebecca Moore cameo? That might be
Yes,
more
of
palatable.
course.
Let's do that.
By the way, Missy Hyatt slicing deli meat, isn't that like the plot of The Wrestler? Are they rebooting that?
It really is. Oh my god, yeah. When Todd Barry is her boss, yelling at her to get back to work.
He's gonna be in the reboot. They don't need to.
I can't seem to find the version with me in it, so we're gonna have to do the. I'm sorry, we're just gonna have to do.
I'll just close my browser and just listen. I want to look at that face.
Just have your eyes closed.
Oh,
Yeah.
oof. She should stand in that supermarket aisle.
Turn it up.
No,
I can't seem to turn it up.
Yeah, Darren hacked the system.
You're such a fucking handsome man. I am a fucking cockstraw, and all I want to do is destroy your fucking cock.
I like my cock. I don't.
Do you spunk those fucking balls?
Oh.
Pop those fucking balls in my mouth, Darren.
Darrenski. I guess maybe in British English, maybe that's how you would say that.
Big wet juicy kisses, Darren, aka.
It's the Queen's English.
Darren, aka 3D. I love that you said that. Bless.
Wait, what's
Bless.
that? That's Noah. Let's hear that.
Oh,
that
that
was
was
our-
the Noah cameo.
I need a lovely voice to be a palate cleanser for the.
No, that was just our Patreon intro.
I'm sorry. Just play it. I need something. I need to hear Noah's beautiful voice after that.
Here, I'll do a
Say
new
something
one.
sexily.
Hey, RIP Livecasters. Tune in to the YouTube channel of the Moon Sorrow podcast, where 6
God.
Moon Sorrow fans talk ad nauseum about every single detail of every single Moon Sorrow album and interview found in the history of Moon Sorrow. Thank
That
you.
was great. I want to listen to this podcast now, unlike before.
All right. Well, before we shout out our top livecast fans, I want to give a special shout out to LaCroix, longtime livecast fan. LaCroix is dealing with some of the big C. We're not fans of that, and we hope him a speedy recovery.
Yeah.
Sid, do you have any words to say?
Honestly, just like look at me. I am the most low achieving person anyone's ever met. And I beat cancer numerous times. So if I can do it, you 1000% can do it. And you will do it. And we'll keep
There
giving
you
you these shout outs.
Oh, that's sweet.
You kick cancer's ass.
And of course, check out our Spotify playlist. Search RIP Livecast Music Break on Spotify, or go to riplivecast.com. You can see the link right there on that page.
Oh wait, Rob, didn't we have an email from Israeli guy?
Oh, we did. That's true. That
Lest
is
we
indeed
forget.
true.
Lest we forget.
Actually, we got 2 emails. We got one from Eric.
Oh.
He goes, "Hey guys, just want to check in and congratulate you on reaching another milestone. Crazy to think it's been 3 years since I was on the show and 14 years since the start of the show.
Jeez.
As long as the show keeps running, I'll keep listening.
Aw.
Even if I prefer the old Livecast.
Aw.
I miss the old Livecast.
Aw,
Thanks, Eric. Well, thank you for all of your support over the years, Eric.
Is that
we
Baba
also
Ganoush?
All right.
and then Israeli guy sent an audio note. Let me know if you can hear this.
Hi, everyone. This is Israeli Guy. First of all, congratulations on your 700th episode. This is very exciting, and thank you for all the hard work you're doing. I don't know if you follow the Soccer World Cup, but there's something funny going on there. The favorite team to win is France. Their leading player is called Mbappe. And, well, you know what Mbappe means from Metzitza Mbappe. So I wish you a lot of Mbappe.
Oh, wow.
Two things.
Let's refresh our users'
Hold on.
memories.
Three things. The first thing is there is
What
something
is
funny
Mbappe?
going. There's just something funny going on at the World Cup. They're playing soccer.
Yeah.
That's the first.
And a journalist was assassnated.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
a
Hilarious.
journalist covering soccer.
Yeah.
That's funny. No. It's not. What is? Can you pronounce it correctly, Noah? Because I know I'm going to say it wrong. The thing we're going to explain here.
Oh, well, the one that we were talking about on the show?
Mezuzah Mbappe. Yeah.
No,
Something
it's
like that.
Motzetz Mbappe, which I
And
think is
it's-
like sucking with the mouth.
Right. It means when the rabbi is doing a bris, like normally they cut the foreskin off in
A
modern
circumcision,
times.
yes.
You're
But the
doing it old
cultish versions of like if you have regular Jews, well, your regular Christians, and then you have like the cult,
Amish
like
people.
no, Amish people are peaceful though. I would say more like the people who think that Jesus is going to
like
come and
prehistoric times.
yeah, rapturists and everything. So that version of Jews, they still do this ancient barbaric thing where the Jewish rabbi takes the circumcision, does it with his teeth, and it draws blood from the baby. So that's what that ritual is called. So apparently, this soccer player has a name that sort of sounds like that.
Mbappe.
But yeah,
Here it is.
it sounds like you're saying in the
Mama,
mouth.
Baby.
It even
Baby,
looks like
but-
he's doing that in the picture. Like he's like,
Oh, he's licking his lips a little bit. Is that in the corner of his mouth? Is that a little piece of foreskin?
Looks like a cold sore.
Zoom, Rob. Enhance.
Zoom. Cameraman, please zoom it.
Yeah, that's definitely a piece of foreskin right there.
Please zoom it. I zoom it good. This is Mr. Jim Brazil.
He's from the Minnesota. He's from the Minnesota in France.
And I want to mention, if you're listening and you have some Livecast memories, if you're feeling nostalgic, you can, of course, email us, riplivecast@gmail.com. And I mentioned our Spotify playlist. We each pick a song. This week, I'm picking a Christmas song that I like. Can you believe it, folks? I picked a song. I actually heard this on... I've been listening to the 50s channel on Sirius XM.
Oh.
50s Gold, I believe it's called, channel 72. And
music in that time.
it's pretty great. Like, it's all bangers, and it's a lot of like, oh, this is where R&B started. This is like the formation of rock. A lot of Chuck Berry, a lot of Turnstile.
Is there a lot of anal content? No, is there a lot of rock, like, or is it like any crooning stuff? Or just rock?
Crooning as well. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
all that stuff. Anyway, so this was a version of Sleigh Bell Rock from Three Aces and a Joker. And what really caught my ear is the infectious bass line on the song. It's pretty pumping.
I listened to it when you were, we have our group chat where we put our playlist links in, and I clicked it and listened, and it sounded like Dick Dale kind of,
Yeah, it was very, very cool. It's a very punk rocky version of the song, and I was very impressed with it.
Nice.
Sid, what did you pick?
Doug E. Fresh He's a very underrated rapper from the 80s, 90s. I'm assuming he's still putting stuff out today. But my favorite Dougie Fresh song came out in 1993, and at the time it felt like, all right, in my mind, this is still like the new Dougie Fresh song, even though it's been 30 fucking years. But it's and it's anthemic and fantastic, and it's sort of like his like foray into like rougher style rap, because he was more of like the 80s style sort of rhymey and fun and talking about various scenarios. And then this was his like sort of reaction to criticism of, but also sort of showing he can do gangsta style rap while rapping about how he's better than gangsta rap.
Uh-huh.
And it's still my favorite song of his, and the chorus is really good.
That's kind of what Run DMC did in the early 90s. Like they did
Down
a
with
whole
the King.
album.
Yeah.
Down with the King, that was like sort of more modern, but not quite all the way there.
Yeah.
And then in the lyrics, they're like, we're still better than all these rappers who
Yeah.
are doing this same thing that we're copying now.
This is sort of like a genre unto itself. Yeah. So,
But Dougie Fresh was like, at least fairly recently, well, it's probably a few years now, but wasn't he in that Dave Chappelle concert movie where they had a block party?
Oh, a block party. Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
I think that he was in that. I might be mistaken. I think he was.
It sounds like the type of guy that would have been on that. Yeah. He's great.
What was your pick, Darren?
Well, I played Peace Train by Cat Stevens because I was watching a podcast that I watch frequently, and this guy, while he's setting up the camera, always just hums a song and sings like pieces of it because he's like technically inept. So he just does it on air. It became a thing. Well, he did it a few times, and then people were like, no, you have to sing a song now. So he sings a song literally every episode while he's fixing up his camera. And he sang Peace Train, and I love that song, and it's a very uplifting. It's just like no negativity. It's just like everyone should have peace, and let's have peace and organize to have peace. It's very simplistic and heartwarming. So it put me instantly in a good mood, and I've been thinking about the song all day. So for like 24 hours. So I said, let's put it on the show. Nice. And I love Cat Stevens. That guy's a really good, like easy listening, old school music.
No, what was your pick?
My pick, I recently went down a Tony wormhole. And he has a song that he does with DJ Quick. Don't really know who that is, but I know who Tony is from when I was a kid. And I used to, this is like for the old people in the room who remember having an antenna on the TV. And I remember if I turned the antenna a certain way, we would get a music channel. And I remember seeing a video by Tony. So anyway, so realizing as an adult that he has a great guitarist in his band. It's like a band, even though it's like R&B singer or whatever. And the song that I picked is called "Let's Get Down," and a great party song for 700. And also, they sample one of Sid's favorite bands, Nirvana.
What?
In the chorus.
Oh wow! All right.
What song did they sample?
What is that song? Where he goes. Wait, I can't even remember the lyrics. No. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Which one is that?
I'm trying to think if I can get
Isn't that
Yeah. That one.
Wow, good for you to get that from what she sang. That was really
nice. Not a good singer, I'm sorry.
No, I didn't mean you're a bad singer. I just meant that it was like not a lot to go on. Not that you did a bad job.
And by the way, the main guy in Tony was Raphael Sadiq, who's like a huge R&B, like neo soul guy now.
Oh,
and
yeah,
has been
right.
for like the last few decades.
Right. He's like in the background, like writes a lot of music and stuff like that.
The new Jermaine Dupri, you're saying?
He's probably older than Jermaine Dupri.
Yeah, old Jermaine.
Oh, really?
Raphael Sadiq, 56. Jermaine Dupri is 50. There we go.
Well, let's. What does RIP stand for this week, Sid?
In honor of 700 episodes, it stands for Robust Internet Podcast.
Oh, okay.
Also, I wanted to say that a couple of years ago when I was in the fantasy league with Sid, my team was named Otani Tony.
That's right. Yes.
Oh,
It's good stuff.
I
That
love
was
that
so
all of
much
us.
fun. That was my favorite part of that league, was making up names or changing my team name every week.
You held yourself to such a high standard. It was exhausting just keeping up, and it was always great. It was banger after banger every week. But
I
you
just
were
took-
hoping other teams in the league would do the same thing, and it ended up just being you. But I was so in admiration of it.
Most of them did one, and
Yeah.
they were all mostly good.
Yeah.
But I don't really expect them to do it like I did. I was just trying to encourage maybe a few changes every week, every other few weeks. You know.
So before we get out of here, I want to give a special shout out to our top livecast fans of the week. How do you become a top livecast fan of the week? It's $10 a month. Patreon.com/RIPLivecast. $5 a month gets you access to all of our bonus episodes. We do 2 bonus episodes a month, and you get access to the entire backlog of bonus episodes with lots of watch-alongs and livecast Hall of Fame inductions. And what were our latest episodes? We did a watch along, or
Love
did we
Guru.
do of the Love Guru? Ugh. Of the Love Guru, Love Guru. Anyway, it was brutal. You could enjoy it, and we also did a roundtable discussion recently of the movie the Weird Al story. In the past, we've done roundtable watch-alongs of the terrible Danzig movie. The first terrible Danzig movie. We have yet to see the second
we're
one. It is
waiting
yet to
for
be released.
Death Riders. Come on.
Terrible Kiss movie. Lots of terrible movies that we make better with our charming commentary. I want to give a shout out to our top livecast fans. I want to give a shout out to all of our fans that stuck with us. Love you. And we kiss you. And how are we doing these seven? How are we doing this shout out?
You're Peter North explaining how all of these people can shoot further.
Wait, can I got a podcast? Can I make a suggestion?
Yes.
Go
Can
for
we
it.
put the list into the AI chat bot and let the chat
Oh,
and then we can just
But
read
like,
it out?
how?
Thank these people for something. I don't know. What can we thank them for?
Or maybe like you read the names as a host of the Moon Sorrow podcast.
Yes.
Well, let's see what it gives you if you do that.
Read them as the host of a very niche, dry, dull podcast about music by people
Make
who've
sure you
never had
remove any
sex.
notes that are in the parentheses, by the way, Rob, so as to not confuse the bot.
Okay, here we go. Let's see. It's just writing out the list.
This bot's getting lazy.
Yeah. Sorry. All right. Well, I do want to thank Eric. I'm just going to do it. Thank you, Eric, Benjamin, Dan R, Sam I Am, Mindy Mayer Skippa, Jander, Rabba Ganoush, aka Justin, Cattle Decaf, Rabba Vampiro, Hugo Likes Tacos, Lando Danks, LaCroix, Corey and Scotty H, Doug Pigman, Douglas, Who Are You, Levison, and hey guys, it's Josh. And thank you guys, and thank everyone for listening, and we'll be back next week. 701.
I want to just quickly say that seriously, we thank the list every week, but we really are grateful to have a long time. People have followed for us for over a decade. It's really heartwarming.
Yeah.
And I know Noah feels the same way. We just thank you so immensely. And I just also want to say, LaCroix, get well soon again, even though we said it already. That really hit me hard. So I hope you make a full recovery. God bless your mother, God bless your father, and God bless you.